Chapter 1361 Crushing Stars, 4. 1361 Crushing Stars, 4. Let's go. The Star Refining Race's Fanbar nodded and walked to the battlefield. He had already determined that this battle was most likely deliberately arranged by the Myriad Races Committee. That was indeed the case. Not only were Sen Nian and the Green Dragon present in this battle, but behind them, with Director Sen as the lead, many staff members of the Myriad Races Committee of the Blue Wave branch were paying attention behind the screen. Even if this 11 defeats the Blue Wave Green Dragon race, isn't it too difficult to fight the Star Refining race? It can't be helped. At the moment, only the Star Refining race is here. Many staff members looked at the screen in silence. Soon, under the command of the Judge Robot, the battle began. The battle style of the Star Refining race was that no matter what battle it was, it had to use the weapon it had refined to fight. This was because the victory of the battle could bring about the upgrade of the weapon and complete the tempering of the weapon. Therefore, at the scene, the Star Refining race's Fanbar directly stretched out its hand and summoned a weapon similar to a black mace. On it was filled with thick dark fluctuations. There were actually dark law ripples lingering, making 11's eyes widen. Dark Star? Wait, this purple-skinned cave person didn't still have dark control at the quasi-divine skill level, right? At the thought of this, 11 was even more excited. Star Refining Divine Skill and Dark Control Divine Skill. If these skills were both replicated and learned, wouldn't it be invincible? Its light control could also fuse with its dark control. Gee! Even Buggy thought of this possibility and couldn't help but show a collapsed expression beside Sen Nian and the Green Dragon. No way! The leader couldn't be so lucky, right? It encountered a skill the moment it came up. What's wrong? Sen Nian and Green Dragon looked at the shocked green silkworm. At this moment, because he was too excited, 11 completely didn't notice that the judge had already announced the start, but the opponent's movements were very fast. Buzz! Space fluctuations blinked. The Star Refining race, who was holding the Dark Star Mace, directly teleported in front of 11. Boom! It held the mace in both hands and suddenly smashed it the moment it appeared. During the process of waving the mace, black light made space tremble and let out a violent boom. In an instant, Sen Nian and the Green Dragon were attracted by this terrifying attack. It was this that had once knocked them out with a swing and even lost the strength to activate the law of life. This terrifying attack was only on World King Planet. If it was on a low-level planet, it completely had the ability to destroy the world. An attack was equivalent to a super meteorite hitting another star. It could cause very terrifying destructive power. Boom! The sound of the attack continued. Woo! However, in this world-destroying attack, Sen Nian and the Green Dragon suddenly discovered that with a discordant cry, the body of the Star Refining race's Fanbar suddenly stopped in midair. The battle scene seemed to have frozen. The huge dark mace was directly caught by the Iron-Eating Beast 11's outstretched palm. No energy fluctuations leaked out. Iron-Eating Beast 11 simply stretched out its palm and relied on its physical strength to receive this attack. This scene was unbelievable, making the Star Refining race's Fanbar clench his arms in disbelief. Because it felt that if it didn't use a little more strength, its arms would be snatched away by its opponent. Wait a minute. Fanbar looked at 11 in disbelief, its body trembling with the mace. It saw the harmless little iron-eating beast opposite it looking at it excitedly. Your strength isn't bad. Do you want to be friends? After 11 finished speaking, it squeezed hard. With a crack appeared in the weapon refined from a small dark star. Star Refining race's Fanbar? Sen Nian and the Green Dragon? How is this possible? The staff of the Myriad Race Committee, who were observing in the dark, watched this scene with their mouths agape. The attack of the Star Refining race, a race ranked 200 plus among the races in the starry sky, whose personal strength was almost in the top 100 of the God-sealing battle, was actually stumped by the opponent with only physical strength. Just as everyone was in disbelief, 11 swung hard. The sail bar holding the mace immediately seemed to have encountered an extremely powerful impact, and its body was immediately sent flying like an afterimage. Boom! It suddenly hit the reinforced wall of the battlefield, and spiderweb-like cracks appeared. Fan Ba was embedded in the wall. It spat out a mouthful of saliva in pain and coughed dryly. Then, it immediately opened its eyes in shock and looked at the newbie of the myriad race-ranking battle that it had helped set. It, who resonated with the small dark star, was like a star life-form encountering a cosmic behemoth that ate planets. Fear involuntarily appeared in its heart. Iron-eating beast race? It looked at 11 for the first time. Was it sure this was the iron-eating beast race and not a cosmic behemoth? It even turned its head stiffly and looked at Sen Nian and the Green Dragon, who had just said that their opponents weren't very strong. Was this the guy they were talking about? The guy who barely won against them? From the moment it was born until now, it had never encountered a monster that relied on its physical strength to defend against its attack and almost crushed a star, sending it flying in strength. It thought for a moment. Probably only a cosmic behemoth with the strongest body in the universe could reach this level. At this moment, Sen Nian and Green Dragon Gorka, who were swept by Fan Ba's gaze, were also very stunned. They also looked at 11, who was twisting its wrist, in confusion. How was this possible? When fighting them, this iron-eating beast wasn't like this. How was this power possible? Gee, at this moment, Buggy quickly patched 11 and said, the last time it fought you, it hadn't eaten for a month. It was extremely weak. This is its true strength. Sen Nian and the Green Dragon looked at the 3-year-old worm, as if they would believe him. Who didn't eat when they went out to fight? Chapter 1362, 1362 Demigod vs True God. 1362 Demigod vs True God. Sen Nian and the Blue Wave Green Dragon couldn't believe what they had seen and heard because this was too strange. Green Dragon, who had fought 11 personally, believed in what it had experienced personally. It was certain that although 11 was powerful, there was definitely no qualitative difference between its battle power and its own. However, in the past 10 years, the star refining race's Fan Ba was considered a top-notch monster in the entire world king planet with non-divine battle power. If it weren't for the fact that it had only debuted for a short period of time and didn't have any human contractors, it wasn't impossible for it to enter the top 50 and top 10 one day. There was definitely a qualitative difference between Fan Ba's strengths and theirs. However, such a monster that was enough to crush them had now made them fall into a disadvantageous position after defeating an incomplete guy half a month ago. This? Are you suspecting me? Seeing the young man and the Green Dragon's disbelief, Buggy said, otherwise, why do you think it could last so long last time? Otherwise, why do you think it has the strength to stand up every time? This is all because its body is invincible to begin with. It's really because it didn't eat last time and didn't perform well. Buggy almost believed it. The other party didn't believe it. It could even create the world. What was wrong with creating a lie now? The human beast tamer, Sen Nian, and the Green Dragon, Gorka, looked at the battlefield in silence. The power of 11's attack was indeed powerful. Although the materials of the battlefield here weren't built according to the standard of divine-level battles, it was definitely not something ordinary demigods could destroy. Looking at the star refining race's Fan Ba that was smashed into the crack in the wall, they swallowed their saliva together. However, Fan Ba was indeed worthy of its strength. After being hit so warmly by 11, they quickly adjusted their mentality and landed back on the arena. How can you make friends like this? Fan Ba looked at the dark mace that had cracks like the wall and recalled 11's words just now. Ridiculous. Woo. 11 didn't care so much. It was definitely going to make this friend. Bang! 11 ran and sprinted out, and its figure instantly disappeared. Although its speed wasn't as fast as the Lightspeed Fist, with just physical skills, although 11's attack was a little slow, it consumed almost no energy. The moment a crack appeared on the ground, 11's attack triggered the gust, making Fan Ba, who was opposite it, feel extremely strong pressure. Its expression changed. It understood that if it didn't use its full strength, it was impossible to defeat this monster. However, even if it used its full strength, it couldn't guarantee that it could defeat this iron-eating beast race. He would give it his all. The gaze of the star-refining race's Fanbar turned cold, and it waved the mace in its hand again. During this process, the cracked mace gradually recovered. At the same time, compared to the almost normal attack last time, Fanbar directly stacked all the buffs that could be stacked. Dark Control, Dark Devour Law. Space Control, Space Quake Law. 2 quasi-divine skills were added to the star arms. Fanbar's attack was even more luxurious than the previous attack. Of course, the consumption was even greater. With a boom, Eleven's fist collided with the mace again. This time, Eleven immediately felt that its strength had been swallowed a lot. At the same time, the other party's strength was even greater. It kept trembling, from its fist to its entire body, and its internal organs were injured. Crack! The moment the two parties collided, wisps of strong wind shot out like bullets. Cracks appeared on the ground and the surrounding walls. The entire battle facility swayed, as if it was about to collapse at any time. Roar! 11 sensed the change in the other party. It was still ferocious and its strength didn't decrease. Seeing that although its opponent's strength had been swallowed a lot, it could still resist the attack enhanced by the spatial power and receive the damage without changing its expression, the star-refining race's Fanbar revealed an unhappy expression. This guy was still using its physical strength to fight the enemy. The reason why Fanbar felt that it didn't have the confidence to win even if it went all out was because 11's physical strength alone made it feel huge pressure. And now that it went all out, 11 still didn't use other methods. This kind of battle where it couldn't see the depth of the enemy made it feel a lot of pressure. Boom! In an instant, the two parties were evenly matched. Fanbar first wanted to hide and dodge, but it sensed that the other party's terrifying strength was focused on a point that was enough to distort space. It turned and teleported into the distance, but 11's movement speed was also extremely fast. The two parties immediately collided a second time in another place. Another shocking aftermath swept across, making the venue a mess. A storm swept the battlefield. In the next second, light flashed, and they collided again with a bang. In the next second, the light flashed again. With a boom, the collision occurred in different places every time. Both parties kept moving, attacking and defending. In the blink of an eye, it was already difficult to see their figures clearly on the arena. Only the aftermath of bangs kept spreading all over the arena, sweeping up a storm. During this period, Fanbar used almost all the methods it could use. However, in its despair, it discovered that this iron-eating beast race was a freak. It kept using its physical strength to collide with its star arms, as if it didn't care about its injuries at all. Moreover, its condition wouldn't fall at all. Instead, as the battle went deeper, it also felt that the other party's strength was increasing. What's this? In the audience, Sen Nian and Green Dragon opened their mouths wide and watched the battle that gradually couldn't keep up with the tempo. They swallowed crazily. Fanbar was still so strong, but that iron-eating beast was indeed using its physical strength to deal with it the whole time. The spatial power, high-temperature fire, light control, and many other skills from the last time weren't used at all. Chapter 1363 Demigod vs True God, 2. 1363 Demigod vs True God, 2. Even so, from the looks of it, it was still suppressing the star-refining race's Fanbar. This made Sen Nian and the Green Dragon almost go crazy. So last time, what exactly happened? At this moment, seeing that 11 had finally released the power of the battle god body to its heart's content, Buggy was also quite excited. As expected of a top-notch battle physique. No, it was better to say that it was as expected of a leader. Just one battle god body wasn't enough to make 11 so strong. Its powerful foundation was also the key to letting the battle god body display such a strong effect. With 5 top-notch divine skills on its body, it was difficult for its foundation to be poor. Boom! After a few minutes of collision, 2 figures appeared in the center of the arena at the same time. Then, they appeared and slid back. A long crack appeared under their feet before they stabilized their bodies with friction. As far as the eye could see, Fanbar's star mace was already extremely broken and lacking a corner. As for 11, who was on the other side, it was also covered in injuries. However, the most infuriating thing was that Fanbar felt its strength gradually decrease, but it didn't feel the other party's strength decrease. Not only did it maintain this 1-meter-long cute form, but its strength was also continuing to increase. It really couldn't understand. "Who exactly are you?" Fanbar of the star refining race asked. "You're so strong, it's impossible for you to be unknown." Woo! The mace of the star refining race's Fanbar recovered again. Fanbar willing to get up. In its own race, it was the most talented, but after arriving at the World King planet, it took part in first the God-sealing battle, then the ranking battle of all races. It encountered obstacles everywhere that had already made its mentality collapse a little. Of course, the most important reason for its mental imbalance was that its opponent was too young. If it were defeated by an old guy who had lived for hundreds or thousands of years and was stuck below the God realm, it wouldn't feel so uncomfortable. "Will you participate in this year's God-sealing battle?" It looked at Shiyu, 11, and Buggy. Shiyu said, "I think so." "All right, I've decided. I want to return to the race and refine the stars again." "See you in the God-sealing battle," Fanbar said. Ah. Buggy sighed. If it couldn't defeat it now, it was even more impossible to defeat it in the God-sealing battle. At that time, all the strong talents and skills that their race had would each belong to them. Hava hava. After sending the purple-skinned holy person away, Shiyu compared the compatibility of the pets according to the contract connection and laughed like a goose. He was as happy as a 200-kilogram child. 11 and Buggy, who knew why Shiyu was smiling so happily, were also infected and laughed together. Hava hava. 11 and Buggy laughed. "Do you know why I'm smiling so happily?" 11 and Buggy. "Next, you're in luck. Apart from Turtle, Little Quass, and Shorty who can't learn star refinement skills, everyone else can learn them. Turtle, Little Quass, and Shorty had purely not been cultivated yet. After evolving into the 4 holy beasts, they could definitely learn it. Woo! Gee! 11 and Buggy didn't expect the compatibility requirement for the refinement skill to be so low. It was really a talent skill of the star refining race that had become a common skill. The purple skinner holy person might become an eternal sinner in the race. However, 11 and Buggy smiled, and their expression suddenly changed. They sensed that something was wrong and looked at Shiyu. Ooh? Woo? Wait a minute, it was fine if other pets could learn it. Even the son of the stars, Little Purple, and even the time sprite, Chi. Heavens! Yeah, Shiyu also completely didn't expect it. He said, "Ridiculous. A skill with compatibility has finally appeared. The most ridiculous thing is that the time sprite, known for finding it impossible to learn other attack skills, also has a skill now. It's a complete surprise. Perhaps it's because this skill is only an arms skill? Moreover, it's a weapon skill to refine external resources. It has less impact on oneself, so the time sprite can learn it?" 11 and Buggy looked at each other. It seemed like that was indeed a possibility. Starry Sky, Shiyu was delighted. There were indeed more good skills in the universe. Little Z and Chi should be very happy. In an instant, Shiyu sent the good news he had obtained to every pet in the group, apart from Little Quass, Turtle, and Shorty. He wouldn't agitate those 3 guys first. Yee! M.I. W.A. tilde. Immediately, happy shouts came from various places in the beast-taming space and Little Z's body. Its feeling was indescribable. The joy it felt couldn't compare to the New Year celebration, it was simply like winning the lottery. Chapter 1372 Buggy Star Arms, 2 1372 Buggy Star Arms, 2 And it was super big. In the study room of the beast-taming space, Mini Chi, who was reading the history books of the universe, had light in its cherry-colored eyes. After it arrived in the universe, it was influenced by Xiyu and liked history. The contract between humans and transcendent lives would affect each other, and it was vividly displayed here. The history of Blue Planet had no secrets for Qi, but the universe was different. Even if it was a time sprite, it was like a child in the face of the huge universe. Moreover, there were countless cosmic eras before this one. Could it also transmigrate the era in the future? With various expectations, Qi also began her journey as an archaeologist. Under Shiyu's careful education, she embarked on the archaeological path of the Celestial Pit. If a time sprite knew archaeology, even the cosmic emperors would cry. Star Arms, Qi's eyes were shining. No matter how good the time umbrella of 11 and the others created for it wasn't Qi's after all. However, Star Refinement and Star Arms were real. As long as it learned them, it could rely on its own abilities to repair and upgrade them. This made Qi even more tempted. Great! It had already thought about it. It still wanted an umbrella for its new arms. The various pets began to think of what arms they wanted. Little Z was also very surprised. However, it looked down at its round body and the nebular gas that looked like clothes and fell into deep thought. Why not add starring arms? Baby Ginseng, Kai Tong, Susu, Ling, Little G, Ducky. All of them thought about their arms. After all, it was also an opportunity to strengthen himself. Moreover, it was a huge strengthening. This was equivalent to every pet contracting a planet. How could this not be strong? Although it was a dead planet, a planet with consciousness and life inside couldn't be refined. The star refined by the star refining race's ancestor, the super divine star refining race, was also a star that didn't nurture consciousness, like the sun of the blue planet. Of course, the energy should be stronger than the sun on the blue planet, but it definitely didn't nurture consciousness. But even so, it was very strong. Woo! Star Bamboo 11 was also looking forward to it. Did Buggy beside it suspect that it really wanted arms? Could it be that it wanted to find a renewable weapon to eat? You guys think very well. At this moment, Xiyu also affirmed. But it seems a little early to be happy. Where can I find stars for you to refine? The planets around the World King planet are all life planets with owners. If you want to find a non-life planet, and it's a top-notch non-life planet, there's plenty to find in the vast cosmic sea. Besides, we have to find more than 10, Xiyu had just thought of this problem. If only one pet could learn to refine star skills, it could guarantee that it would find a convenient weapon for that pet. However, all his pets were to refine star skills. Where could he find these dozen or so top-notch planets? Wasn't this taking his life? Of course, it was easy to find a star, but the problem was that there was definitely no one in the team who could control a star weapon now. Even if they reached the divine level, it would be difficult. Moreover, the power of the sun didn't match every pet. Ling requested to open the call. Master, if there's really no other way, the World King planet seems to have a Universe Overlord army stationed here. We can buy a planet from them. It's too dangerous and time-consuming to look for it ourselves. Xiyu was speechless. The Cosmic Overlord army was the only foreign faction on the World King planet that could legally sell the planet. This was mainly because the World King had to give the Cosmic Overlord respect. The position of the Cosmic Overlord army was to earn money. As long as they were paid, they could go to the battlefield to be mercenaries to fight the army of the World King planet, the army of the insect race, the army of the Dark King, or hunt the Cosmic Behemoth. In short, whoever paid was the boss. Logically speaking, such a faction should die the fastest, but unfortunately, the Universe Overlord was currently recognized as the strongest expert in the universe. Its army naturally ran rampant. Apart from its territory, there were also factions of the other 4 universe emperors doing business. Among them, the planet trade was one of them. Not to mention a planet without consciousness, even if there were life habitats and conscious planets, they would dare to attack and sell them. That's a path, Xiyu said, although they destroy stars and races at every turn, it said that they're still very honest in doing business. This was Yunan's old enemy. The Yun clan planet that Yunnan belonged to seemed to have been destroyed by others who hired the Universe Overlord army. He couldn't afford to offend them. Since there are no planetary resources, I won't teach you now, Shiyu said. We'll talk about it when we have the chance to find a suitable star. He would teach them other skills first. Skills like dark control, metal control, and space control could be learned from each other. Gee! Just as Shiyu thought that he didn't have to teach star refinement first, Buggy poked Shiyu. Gee! You can teach me first! My Dragon Star group is also considered a Dragon Star. I can refine a one-time Dragon Star group into permanent star arms through star refinement. Gee! If the Dragon Star group could fuse with the refining star, how cool would that be, Tilda? Shiyu and 11 looked at Buggy. Chapter 1373 Buggy Star Arms, 3 1373 Buggy Star Arms, 3 Buggy was serious. This was a decision it had thought about for a long time. It would be a huge loss to let it consume the power of faith and use the one-time Dragon Star group. However, apart from being able to refine planets, the star refinement skill also seemed to be able to repair, strengthen, and derive arms skills. In short, there were many benefits. Wasn't refining stars a perfect combination skill with the Dragon Star group? If it could modify the Dragon Star group through star refinement, at that time, it would be surrounded by several Dragon Star meteorite arms that could be repaired themselves even if they were smashed. This could reduce the need for the power of faith a lot. It didn't have to spend much effort to find a suitable star, right? It had mastered the laws of creation and the skill to create the Dragon Star. Couldn't it build it itself? Then, by refining stars, it would maximize their potential. Of course, if it could encounter more suitable star arms in the future, it wouldn't mind changing. But now, Buggy only wanted to learn star refinement before the God-sealing battle and strengthen itself. This way, it would see vast improvements. Are you sure? Shiyu said. The Dragon Star group can also be refined? Buggy, try. Buggy had already thought about it. At the Four Saints meeting, it would buy a pile of faith items and spend a huge price to condense an eternal Dragon Ball arms. At that time, whoever wasn't convinced would directly turn a Dragon Ball into a Dragon Star and smash it. It was simple and crude. Buggy still felt that it was very cool. Meteorite destruction. Unfortunately, the price to use it wasn't small. On Blue Planet, Buggy still had 7 Dragon Stars hanging above Blue Planet to protect Dragon Palace City and Donghuang, but here, it didn't have a single Dragon Star. This time was a good opportunity to condense Dragon Stars again. Alright, Shiyu said. I'll teach you when I'm free, Tilda. Buggy, woo! 11 was stunned. Woo. It was clearly a who. Next, Shiyu continued to add points. Although he had promised Buggy, Buggy's weapon wasn't in a hurry. It wasn't the highest priority. He first added points to Ling. What he added were the 3 super skills: Wind Element Control, Transcendent, Turning Misfortune into Luck, Transcendent, and Wind Spirit Bead, Transcendent. Because it was a super skill, it was definitely easier to add points than quasi-divine skills. In addition, these 3 skills determined the success rate of Ling learning the Starry Sky Storm in the future. Naturally, he had to take priority. Next were the 3 babies of the clueless team. Shiyu smoothly added their low, intermediate, and high-level skills to Dao proficiency, but super skills were only added slowly. Because it was added too quickly, when it reached the perfect level, they would break through to the Overlord. Now that they only had intermediate will, it was better to wait to train their Overlord will before breaking through. During the process of Shiyu adding some super skills to them, he didn't let Susu cleanse their affliction. For them, this was a rare opportunity to train their willpower. If they couldn't take it now, what would happen to their quasi-divine skills in the future? After enjoying the leap in the level of low-level skills, the additional points of super skills finally made Turtle, Little Quas, and Shorty experience the danger of adding points. It hurt them, but they were happy. In short, Shiyu planned to let them slowly train for more than a month before undergoing evolution breakthrough. In less than 2 days, the additional points Shiyu added to Ling were completed. When Ling went to optimize the 3 super skills of Dao proficiency to quasi-divine skills, Shiyu finally began to return to teach Buggy the star refinement skill. Roar! Buggy had just learned it in pain when it eagerly asked Shiyu if there was a success rate of fusion between the Dragon Star group and the star refinement. No, the success rate is 0. Roar! Buggy was depressed, but it still turned around and excitedly took the world tree fruit created by baby ginseng to increase comprehension before running to try to refine the Dragon Star. Compared to real star arms, the arms refined by the Dragon Star were definitely weak at the current stage, but they were at least a powerful combination skill. It was definitely stronger than the individual Dragon Star group. Buggy believed that when Shiyu added points to the Dragon Star group to a divine skill and when it learned to overdraft its faith, the Dragon Ball arms might not be inferior to other star arms. After all, it was his, so it was more convenient. Moreover, it was easier to upgrade than other star arms. The star arms of the star refining race could only be upgraded by increasing the star refining skill, but its Dragon Ball was different. It could also be upgraded by upgrading the Dragon Star group skill and injecting the power of faith. This was an advantage that 11 and the others didn't have. Woo woo woo, Buggy ran to refine the Dragon Ball. 11 was also eager to try, wanting to learn the dark control that was replicated at the same time. Shiyu naturally taught it without any problems. Woo! However, it was also a pity that the fusion rate of light control and dark control was currently 0. 11 was shocked when it heard that. Why couldn't it learn light and dark control even though it already knew Yin-Yang Millstone? These 2 skills are both divine skills that are close to top-notch quality. After fusion, it might not be as simple as light and dark control and has an undoubtedly higher difficulty, like the Yin-Yang Law. Shiyu guessed blindly, trying his best to guess better. That was really a possibility. After all, even if the chances of directly fusing weren't high, they still had the invincible Yin-Yang Taiji domain. 11 nodded and felt that it made sense. Then, it looked forward to it even more. Don't worry, there's still time in the future. The existing skills are enough for you to practice. Shiyu chuckled and said, speaking of which, when are you going to participate in the battle above your level? Do you want to increase the proficiency of these skills again? Chapter 1374 Buggy's Star Arms, 4. 1374 Buggy's Star Arms, 4. Woo woo woo. 11 nodded crazily. It wanted to be an expert in quasi-divine skills. All right. In order to have better results in 11's battle above its level, Shiyu naturally pulled the entire team and continued to support 11. It was undoubtedly the most difficult to add points to 11 because its quasi-divine skills were too high quality. When adding points at the quasi-divine skill stage, the consumption of each skill began to be different. The more powerful the divine skill, the harder it was to add points. Therefore, when adding points to 11, the little resources of the entire team could be said to be consumed at a visible speed. Susu's work speed couldn't compare to the consumption of points at all. If the Environmental Protection Association knew that even the cleansing star spirit couldn't afford to raise a team of pets, they would definitely be very shocked. About half a month later, Shiyu completed the additional points for 11. Apart from light and dark control, the Yin-Yang Millstone, the 8 trigrams clone, the Battle God body, and the Thought of God and Demon had all gained points to the expert level for 11. Woo! At this moment, 11 already had sufficient confidence to fight a true god above its level. Buggy saw that the leader's strength had increased greatly and was envious. It lowered its head and refined the thing that looked like a glass bead in front of it again. This was surprisingly the Dragon Ball arms formed by Buggy through the Star Refinement and Dragon Star group. The Dragon Ball was like a green glass bead with a golden symbol inside. Although it only looked the size of a glass bead now, Buggy knew that this bead was impressive. It was ever-changing. The size and weight could be controlled at will. The weight of the Dragon Ball was still increasing under its refinement. In the future, even if it was as heavy as Blue Planet, it wasn't impossible. At that time, it would be too cruel to smash a bead down. Its power was basically no different from the dragon star summoned from the starry sky. Most importantly, the current Dragon Ball could still be constantly repaired through the power of spatial star refinement. It was no longer a one-time use. It probably saved a lot of power of faith. Therefore, as long as Buggy kept upgrading the Dragon Ball through the stronger power of the starry sky and the power of faith, it might be the first pet in the team to have a finished star weapon. Because faith skills were generally stronger than ordinary skills after strengthening with external forces, when the time came, it would be like the impact of a divine-level star. It wouldn't be a dream to destroy gods above its level. This made Kai Tong extremely envious. Since the dragon star could be refined into arms, could the Vermilion Bird clone that could transform into the sun? Could it strengthen the Vermilion Bird clone through the star refinement skill? It could be said that when it came to Xiaoyu, the racial skills of the star refining race directly let Buggy and the others play tricks. As 11 and Buggy leveled up, Baby Ginseng was the most anxious. Your divine level first clear is going to be snatched away, Kai Tong said. 11 is about to participate in the ranking battle of all races. At that time, the one who loses will definitely be the opponent. Yee! Yeah! Baby Ginseng waved its arms around. Nonsense! 11 could at most defeat the opponent. How could it kill a divine level expert above its level? The divine level first clear had to be it. How could defeat and kill be the same? Ning, Susu considerately cleansed Baby Ginseng's anxiety. Baby Ginseng, woo 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 woo. It had been cleansed, but not completely. Xiaoyu still didn't plan to follow when all races fought above their level. It was mainly because he couldn't follow either. A racial PK was still a battle for 11 alone. Of course, according to tradition, Buggy still accompanied 11 to the Myriad region this time. As soon as they arrived, Director Sen immediately ran over to welcome them warmly. After waiting for more than half a month, he finally saw this battle god iron-eating beast again. It looked like 11 was already prepared to fight above its level. Contestant 11, I've long applied for the right to fight above your level for you. After you're ready, you can use the teleportation array here to enter the second world. That thing is similar to the teleportation keystones. You should have experienced it, right? Yes. 11 nodded and was already looking forward to it. What kind of race would the opponent be? A. If only it was the Yun race. The happiest battle it carried out was still with Yunnan. Unfortunately, 11 also felt that it was dreaming. How could there be a Yun race on the World King planet? Director Sen seemed to have seen 11's anticipation and couldn't help but smile. What race will it be? Woo! Buggy made 11 feel at ease. Don't worry, you're so strong now. No matter what race you are, it'll become a stepping stone for you and the iron-eating beast race. 11 could be invincible at the same level with its physical body alone. With the one thought of god and demon, Buggy estimated that this guy could instantly kill a junior god. He really didn't know which race was so unlucky to encounter 11 and participate in a battle above its level. At the same time, first level world, Dongxian realm. This was a realm jointly managed by the three divine races. The three divine races were respectively Dragon, Phoenix, and Kirin. To be precise, it was the Dragon, Phoenix, and Kirin race from Blue Planet. At this moment, in the main city of the Kirin in the Dongxian region, a Kirin race hummed a tune and flew towards the battle facilities of the Myriad race ranking battle. They planned to enter the second world and fight rankings. Chapter 1375 Unlucky Race Kirin 1 1375 Unlucky Race Kirin 1 As usual, I'll make a cup of cold crystal spring. I'll drink it after I come out. In the ranking battle of all races facility for all races in the main city of the Kirin, a completely ice blue Kirin walked past a building and said to the waiter at the door. Yes. The waiter watched as the ice Kirin walked in. In the surroundings, there were also humans and other Kirins coming and going, but most of them were Kirin subspecies that contained the Kirin bloodline. There were sheep, wolves, deer, and dragons in various forms. Hello, Senior. Is it the advancement battle of the Ice Kirene race this time? Some people greeted the Ice Kirene respectfully when they saw it and received its response. That's right. If you win this battle, you can advance, it said in a good mood. Whether the Ice Kirene race can advance to the top 1 million depends on this. Senior, all the best. We'll wait for your good news, many juniors said. Brother Bobo, you're here, a divine-level Fire Kirene with an aura not inferior to the Ice Kirene passed by and said to it. In the end, your family still chose you. The Ice Kirene laughed and said, it's only my luck was good. Hurry up and go. I'll wait for your good news. The Fire Kirene gave its blessings. Among the 10,000 races, the ranking of the Blue Planet's Kirene race was actually not low. As they didn't have the habit of participating in war, the few god races on Blue Planet often stayed in the ranking battles of all races. It was mainly because it was relatively safe and could be trained. Even if they relied on time to survive, they still managed to get the ranking. However, because they were too free, the Kirene race was later not satisfied with only fighting for the ranking of large races. Many branch races would also rank on behalf of the branch race they belonged to when they were free. The ranking of the branch races was much lower than that of the large races. For example, the Ice Kirene in front of him represented the Ice Kirene race, a branch race of the Blue Planet's Kirene race. It wanted to raise the Ice Kirene's ranking to the top 1 million. In this critical battle, a few Kirene gods who were passionate about ranking in the Ice Kirene race chose the candidate to fight by drawing lots and handed over this difficult mission. It's quite stressful. When the Ice Kirene arrived, a group of juniors followed behind. Although they couldn't watch the battle, they could at least obtain the results immediately. Soon, they arrived at a huge building. There was a teleportation device here that could input various data. The staff followed the Ice Kirene's instructions and inputted it before carrying out the teleportation. In the second world, the Myriad race battlefield. In an instant, the Ice Kirene appeared on an icy plain. At the same time, several voices appeared in its mind. Teleportation completed. You have arrived at the second world, the Myriad race battlefield. The venue has been randomly confirmed to be the primary venue, Icefield. Triggered. This battle is confirmed to be a challenge above your level. Your opponent is Ranked Race, Iron-Eating Beast Race, Quasi-Divine, 11. Battle, begin. Ice Kirene Bobo? The Ice Kirene's mood was completely filled with twists and turns. After hearing that the venue was randomly chosen to the Icefield, it was first happy because it had the home advantage. But then, to its surprise, it actually randomly triggered a battle above its level. In the ranking battle of all races, the matched ones were basically of the same level. Unless they applied to fight above their level, there was a 100% chance of them not encountering a higher level. The battle mechanism above their level made many battle parties hate it deeply. This was because even if they won, the points obtained were far inferior to defeating someone of the same level. However, if they lost, a large amount of points would be deducted. Sigh, forget it. Perhaps the points can barely be. The Ice Kirene looked at its opponent in the distance. It actually successfully applied for the qualifications to fight above its level in the race ranking battle. It was definitely a super expert among demigods. However, the difference between a demigod and a true god. The Ice Kirene, would tell this iron-eating beast race well. At the same time, on the other side, many similar voices appeared in Eleven's mind after it was teleported over from the Blue Wave world. Your opponent is 1,001,024th place, Ice Kirene race, Junior God, Bobo. Battle, begin. Woo. As its voice fell, 11 instantly looked at its opponent and was puzzled. Kirene. Kirene race? Was it the Kirene race on Blue Planet? 11 wasn't sure either. It didn't know if there were other Kirene races in the starry sky of the universe, but it knew that there were other dragons in the universe. Then, it couldn't say for sure where the Kirene in front of it came from. Forget it, just fight. In the Myriad Race battlefield, after the Ice Kirin, Bobo, and the Iron-Eating Beast, 11, matched, information about this battle also appeared on the huge monitor in the teleportation room that connected the battlefield in the Blue Wave domain and the Dongxian realm. Ranked Race, Iron-Eating Beast Race, Quasi-Divine, 11, vs. 1,001,024th place, Ice Kirin Race, Junior God, Bobo. Battle. A battle above its level. On the Dongxian realm side, a bunch of juniors who had come to see the ranking of the ice element Kirin God were stunned. They didn't expect that Senior Bobo would actually be matched with a demigod who applied to fight above its level. Moreover, it wasn't those geniuses of the big starry sky races, but a race that had yet to be ranked. Even if we win, it won't reach the top 1 million, right? Many demigods with the Kirin bloodline muttered. It's also a good thing. Even if the increase isn't big, we can at least confirm that we'll win this battle. If we win the next battle, our ranking after advancing will definitely be higher, someone analyzed. Compared to the Dongxian region, at the scene of the Blue Wave region, Buggy looked at the opponent it matched with a much strange expression. Chapter 1376, 1376 Unlucky Race Kirin, 2. 1376 Unlucky Race Kirin, 2. Wait, Kirin? Was it the Kirin race it knew? Unfortunately, it couldn't see the battle process. It wanted to see it so much. Oh no, the match is so close to the front. 11's luck isn't very good. Seeing the 1 million ranking, Director Sen fell into deep thought. Icefield. The Ice Kirin looked at 11 opposite it and said, "Forget it, I'll play with you." With that said, 100 ice swords appeared in the air behind it. Every ice sword had the power of a demigod to use a quasi-divine skill. Facing a demigod, Bobo didn't use his divine power, wanting to preserve it for the next battle. Apart from divine power, it didn't even have any intention of using the ordinary energy in its body for the time being. It only used its method of mobilizing the natural energy of the world to condense the ice element natural power of the ice field to form an attack. This way, the consumption could be reduced to the minimum. Moreover, this attack couldn't be said to be weak for demigods. Every one of the 1,000 attacks was enough to be called a serious attack of a demigod. And now, there were a total of 1,000. Swoosh! 1,000 ice swords spun and attacked 11. Seeing this, 11 was stunned. It looked at the Ice Kirin and let the 1,000 ice swords land on its body. With bangs, icy mist filled the air in the blink of an eye. Woo! Then, 11 walked out of the icy mist. Apart from some icy slag on its body, it was unscathed. What? The Ice Kirin was stunned. Uninjured? What a joke! This was a demigod? When it was stunned, 11 was already running with all its might on the ice field. Its simple physical skills turned it into an afterimage and instantly arrived beside the Ice Kirin. Seeing this, the Ice Kirin couldn't believe it. This guy's physique seemed to be stronger than ordinary divine levels. It subconsciously condensed an ice wall. 11 hit the ice wall, and the ice wall shattered with a crack. Fortunately, it successfully blocked 11. Little guy, your strength isn't bad. The Ice Kirin roared. No wonder it was a demigod who could apply to fight above its level. As expected, it had some skills. This time, it chose to use its energy and no longer rely on the power of nature. As soon as it finished speaking, the ice wall that blocked 11 exploded. The strong ice impact first stiffened 11's body and thoughts. Then, it bounced 11 away and froze it into a huge ice cube in midair. Woo! The extreme cold current attacked 11's body crazily. In an instant, it froze 11's body inside and out. Bang! The ice landed on the ground. The Ice Kirin understood that this was the end. However, in the next moment, with a roar and a huge power eruption, the frozen 11 broke free from the ice. Woo woo woo! Divine level, indeed very strong. 11 swung its frozen body and said seriously. What a joke! At this moment, the Ice Kirin's impression of 11 completely changed. This guy shattered the ice with its physical strength alone? Could it be a cosmic behemoth? Iron-eating beast, what race was this? The Ice Kareen had the same question as the person who fought 11 previously. Its expression froze. This guy was indeed an existence that could threaten ordinary Primera-level gods. It was just unlucky to have encountered it. Otherwise, even if other true gods could win, they would have to put in a lot of effort. Your name is 11, right? Which realm are you from? The Ice Kareen stopped attacking and started chatting. Can I say this? 11 asked. It seemed like they often taught on television not to let children answer strangers' questions. Ice Kareen. Why was this guy like a child? What was there not to say? However, one way or another, 11, who was more than a meter tall, indeed didn't look very old. Uncle, which realm are you from? 11 asked. Since the other party started first, it also wanted to confirm its guess. The Ice Kareen said, I'm from the Dong-Xian realm. You don't even know which realm the Kareen race is from? It was a frog at the bottom of the well. Also, I'm not an uncle. 11 looked shocked. Dong-Xian realm? It seemed to know this. Wasn't this the realm managed by the 3 races of Blue Planet, Dragon, Phoenix, and Kareen? This Uncle Ice Kareen was a descendant of the Blue Planet's Kareen race. 11 was overjoyed. It didn't expect its luck to be so good that it could actually encounter someone from the same hometown. What was this called? Meeting someone from the same hometown brought tears to its eyes. What kind of expression is that? The Ice Kareen was puzzled. Woo woo woo. Uncle, what a coincidence. I'm from the floating realm, and we're even in the realm alliance. 11 immediately replied. Ah. The Ice Kareen was stunned. From the floating realm. What a coincidence. When did such a powerful race appear in the floating realm? Bobo was only a junior god and its level was insufficient. It didn't know about Xiaoyu, but it knew that the floating realm and the Dong-Xian realm were indeed a very good alliance. The realm lord of the floating realm was a peak divine level expert who could talk to their Kareen race's super divine ancestor. So, you're a junior genius of the floating realm? The Ice Kareen also fell silent. But even if you're an alliance, I won't give in to you. Little brat, let's talk when we have the chance. Let's continue fighting. Woo woo woo. 11 hurriedly shook its head. It didn't have to give in. Uncle, can you not hold back any more? I want to see your divine skill. I've never fought a real divine skill, 11 said in anticipation. Chapter 1377 Unlucky Kareen Race, 3 1377 Unlucky Kareen Race, 3 The Ice Kareen gritted its teeth. This brat wanted it to waste divine power? If the opponent was anyone else, it wouldn't care. However, it had just finished speaking, so it didn't seem good to refuse. You're pretty shameless. Forget it, I'll guide you. The Ice Kareen sighed. Be careful. The divine skill I master is the frozen divine realm. In the frozen space, the spatial barrier, mental consciousness, physical activity, energy flow, will all be frozen. In an instant, you'll lose your mobility. Seeing that you've indeed never seen a divine skill, I'll let you see it. Woo! 11 completely focused, indicating that it would also resist and counterattack with all its might. However, the divine skill to freeze consciousness. Would it really be unable to counter it? 11 was puzzled. Of course, the Ice Kareen only smiled at 11's response. In that case, attack first and use your full strength. Otherwise, I'm afraid you won't have a chance. Woo! 11 felt that it was good. Although it was confident that it could react in any situation, it wasn't a big problem to activate its strength in advance. Facing the first divine-level creature it encountered, 11 knew very well that it was impossible to defeat it with physical strength alone. That was definitely an opponent that had to go all out to have a chance to defeat. After thinking it through, 2 violent powers separated from 11's body. They were no longer gentle, but completely erupted. Boom! Accompanied by a thunderclap, white lightning flashed in 11's black eyes, turning into a white thunder armor wrapped around its entire body. This power. Thunder God Armor Mode. Sensing that 11 was using the power of lightning to stimulate its body even stronger, it fell into a state that was almost self-mutilating. Even its reaction consciousness began to circulate at a high frequency. The Ice Kirin grinned. Not bad. That physical strength was indeed not the limit. If this guy represented the floating realm to participate in a god-sealing battle, the floating realm would easily enter the top 100. Roar! Under the Ice Kirin's gaze, 11 continued to erupt with stronger and stronger lightning power. It didn't hesitate to destroy its body in exchange for extreme eruption. The monstrous warpath made the Ice Kirin nod. 11, right? You're indeed. Before the Ice Kirin could finish speaking, with another boom, black lightning erupted from 11's body. On the icy plane, 11 clenched its fists. Under two loud bangs, white lightning wrapped around its body, and black lightning flowed. Under the interweaving impact of the power of lightning, one light and one dark, a powerful and mysterious power that wasn't inferior to the power of a god appeared like a miracle. Roar! 11 roared, and the shocking roar made the Ice Kirin widen its eyes and reveal an incredulous expression. It wasn't a simple thunder god armor. It wasn't just a demon god body. It was one thought of god and demon after light and darkness collided. It was a complete version of the one thought of god and demon. If it was just the thunder god armor, although it could also increase 11's speed and reaction speed greatly, it would always be in a state that 11 could withstand. As for the demon god body, it only allowed 11 to obtain the huge power enhanced by the power of dark thunder. Perhaps it could temporarily resist a true god, but it was still very unlikely to win. Therefore, the only way to win was to think of gods and demons together. After entering the divine demon thought, one could break through the restrictions of the brain under the stimulation of the power of light, darkness, and lightning and obtain extremely strong attacks, defense, speed, injury avoidance, and thought reaction power that exceeded time. Battle god body plus demon god cognitive. No. There was even the yin-yang millstone. At this moment, the black and white electric arcs that filled the sky seemed to have become 11's hair. They kept floating like a blurry yin-yang lightning sea. 11 was like a thunder god walking out of the chaotic lightning sea. At this moment, a godlike aura completely erupted from its body, shaking the sky and earth. A vast universe swept through the entire icy plane. The expert-level yin-yang millstone was now conceptualized. Every two interweaving black and white electric currents on 11's body seemed to have formed the form of a millstone, obliterating everything. In the Ice Kirin's perception, 11 didn't seem to be a demigod at this moment, but a true god. In the next moment, its expression turned cold. A divine power that could suppress all energy and perfectly match the power of laws bloomed from its body. The blue divine power formed a huge wave on the Ice Kirin's body. Frozen divine domain. The Ice Kirin roared. Divine power instantly combined with the dazzling power of laws to describe a divine skill. The greatest difference between a divine level and a non-divine level was that a divine level had already converted most of its energy into divine power. The power of a quasi-divine skill condensed from divine power was at least several times that of a quasi-divine skill. The divine skill condensed even contained unbelievable power. Originally, such a divine skill was definitely fatal to non-divine life forms. However, sensing 11's current state, the Ice Kirin panicked. Was this AF * King Demigod? The terrifying power erupting from 11's body made even it, who had divine power, feel a huge pressure. Boom! The white ice sealing power instantly froze the entire icefield battlefield. The world and the ground were frozen, and space was grey. Originally, everything in this divine realm should have been frozen. Even the flow of time would be much slower. However, under the shock discovery of the Ice Kirin, 11 was almost unaffected at this moment. All the cold air that filled its body was instantly disintegrated. In this extremely cold state, its thoughts were even clearer. It punched in the air. Chapter 1378, 1378 Unlucky Careen Race, 4. 1378 Unlucky Careen Race, 4. Bang! The terrifying black and white lightning storm directly flipped over the icy plain, obliterating all snow and wind. The frost that swept over to protect the ice careen was also instantly devoured. The powerful move arrived in front of the ice careen in the blink of an eye. Under its roar, it devoured it and flipped it over. Boom! The lightning storm pushed the ice careen's body and opened a huge crack in the icy plain, hitting it more than 1,000 meters away. When the power of lightning dissipated, cracks of various sizes had already appeared on the ice careen's sturdy ice body. At this moment, the ice careen was in disbelief. It didn't understand why 11 suddenly had such powerful strength. Why was it difficult to resist even its divine skill? Boom! In the divine domain that froze its thoughts, the ice careen's own thoughts almost froze. It was difficult to understand, but 11, whose thinking reaction was enough to exceed time, couldn't stop at this moment. Another bolt of lightning exploded under its feet. The burden on the body and the state of the demon god's thought was huge. Moreover, the prototype of the 3 top-notch divine skills, the battle god body plus yin-yang millstone plus 1 thought of god and demon, was erupting with all its might. It couldn't last long, and it could only attack continuously. What? In an instant, the ice careen only saw a black and white after image appear in the sky above it. Then, it spat out ice shards and its body caved in. Accompanied by a huge impact, its body smashed down the icy plain. Boom! A deep pit appeared. In midair, 11 raised its arms high, and the power of light, darkness, and lightning surged on its body. 1, 2, 3, 4. Many small yin-yang millstones condensed. As its arm landed, the yin-yang millstones that filled the sky smashed into the huge pit crazily. At the same time, during the fall, it destroyed the frozen divine domain above its level, making the entire divine realm sway. Boom 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 boom. A terrifying boom bloomed on the icefield battlefield. Up here at this moment, the ice careen, which was being attacked crazily, only had one thought. It suspected that 11 was also a careen. I don't believe it, it roared with difficulty in the huge pit, but in the next second, it was suppressed by a yin-yang millstone. At the same time, an extremely ridiculous emotion was born in Bobo's heart. Monster, monster! It regretted letting the other party attack first. No, it regretted coming to the ranking battle today. This guy wasn't as simple as being able to skip levels. Instead, it was torturing a beginner. No. Little brat, stop! Woo! How could 11 stop? If it stopped, it would lose. At this moment, in the teleportation rooms of the Dongshen region and the Blue Wave region, 2 groups of people were waiting for the outcome of the battle. The juniors of the Careen race were puzzled why their divine level had yet to defeat the demigod opposite. Logically speaking, there shouldn't be a need to be so slow. Could it be that Senior Bobo became playful and started entertaining the other party? It changed, it's over. Just as everyone was puzzled, the information on the screen suddenly updated. Battle became battle over. Accompanied by a teleportation light, the Ice Careen's figure was teleported back to the Dongshen region. Many people looked in the direction of the teleportation array. The Ice Careen had yet to appear, so they said, "Congratulations." However, before they could finish speaking, they saw the Ice Careen, covered in injuries, fall from the teleportation array. Bang! The Ice Careen landed. All the members of the Careen race looked at this scene in disbelief and then looked at the screen. Winner, ranked race, Iron-Eating Beast race, Quasi-Divine 11. They clearly knew every word, but when combined, it stunned everyone present. How is this possible? They exclaimed in unison. As for the Ice Careen on the ground, it gradually recovered a trace of consciousness. However, its rationality told it that it was best to continue fainting. It directly entered a deep sleep. At the same time, Blue Wave World. The group of staff from the Blue Wave Myriad Race Committee, led by Director Sen, also waited nervously for the results of the battle. As the information here changed, it displayed the winner's information. On the teleportation array, a black and white bear that swayed as if it had drunk fake wine appeared. Director Sen's expression was suddenly overjoyed. Won? It really won. He had already picked up his cell phone excitedly and was waiting for contact from the headquarters of the Myriad Races Committee. Gee! At the side, Buggy saw his ecstatic appearance and shook its head. Of course, how could the leader lose? It immediately asked 11 about the information it was most concerned about. Leader, could that Kirin race be? Sob 11 was weak. It was exactly as they thought. Buggy's expression stiffened. It was true. Then it was over. The beast tamers were still hoping for the Kirin race to return the favor. If they fought now, they wouldn't bear a grudge, right? 11 was also shocked. There was such a thing? Oh no, it forgot. The two pets instantly contacted Shiyu from afar with worried expressions. In the environmental area, Shiyu fell into deep thought when he heard that. TSK, the two of you are unlucky children. Why did you compete against the Kirin race? At that moment, as the Ice Kirin was defeated by someone who fought above its level, the ranking battle facilities of the Myriad races in the Dongxian region directly changed. The divine level managers present, including the Fire Kirin that had just greeted the Ice Kirin, rushed to the scene one after another. They looked at the Ice Kirin, who was lying down, with incredulous expressions. Chapter 1379 Unlucky Kirin Race, 5 1379 Unlucky Kirin Race, 5 In the Ice Kirin race, many members of the Ice Kirin race instantly had a heart attack, and their lungs exploded when they heard that Bobo had lost in a ranking battle to a demigod. F***CK, what's going on? A pile of Ice Kirins immediately rushed to the battlefield with the medicine, wanting to understand. In a battle above their level, the chances of a demigod winning were actually very low. Therefore, every time they successfully crossed their level, the headquarters of the Myriad Races Committee would take it very seriously. The factions that successfully crossed their level would naturally be overjoyed, and the races that had been surpassed would lose face. Upon hearing that the divine level had been surpassed, even the president of the Myriad Race Committee in the Kirin main city, a top-notch divine realm Holy Kirin, couldn't help but come to the scene to take a look at the situation. It wanted to personally ask this kid from the Ice Kirin race what was going on. President, when the top-notch Holy Kirin arrived, the medical staff and spectators present greeted it. Which big race's quasi-divine did it lose to? The top-notch Holy Kirin asked the staff at the scene. The female staff in charge of matching the Ice Kirin said timidly, President, I don't think it's a big race in the starry sky. It's a new race that has never participated in the ranking competition. It's the Iron-Eating Beast race, 11. We've never heard of this race and this quasi-divine. President, have you heard of this race? We know Bobo's strength. Even if it's not considered an expert among Primary-level gods, it's definitely not weak, the divine-level Fire Kirin said at this moment. The corners of the Holy Kirin president's mouth twitched, but suddenly, he remembered something and said, What did you just say? Iron-Eating Beast race? President, you know? Fire Kirin asked. President Holy Kirin opened its mouth slightly and said, I have some impression, but that's impossible. According to what I know, the Iron-Eating Beast race is a race on our mother planet, Blue Planet. On World King Planet, there's only one person who has an Iron-Eating Beast. One of the geniuses brought over from Blue Planet in the floating realm, Shiyu. But the problem is that the Iron-Eating Beast is only one of its many pets. They've only been on World King Planet for a month. How can they defeat a divine-level expert above their level? Most importantly, the only wind Kirin was on Shiyu. It was contracted by it. The Holy Kirin president didn't say anything. As soon as the Holy Kirin president finished speaking, the Kirin race present was stunned. Wait? It wasn't some cosmic race, but a hidden strong race. But if a race walked out of their origin mother planet, the Blue Planet that had been smashed and fallen to a low-level planet? The races of the future would defeat the 5 god races of Blue Planet above their level? President Holy Kareen couldn't believe it either. It glanced at the unconscious Ice Kareen and directly contacted Lin Feng. At this moment, Lin Feng, who was far away in the heavenly spirit world, received the call from the Kareen race and immediately said happily, "Why, have you confirmed the evolution path of the Wind Kareen and the Wind of Blessing?" President Holy Kareen said, "Old Lin, does you have an iron-eating beast called 11? Yeah, what's wrong? Wait, aren't you guys thinking about the Wind Kareen? Why are you mentioning the iron-eating beast?" Lin Feng was confused. Just now, 11 defeated a junior god of the Ice Kareen race above its level in the ranking battle of all races. What's wrong with this kid? Lin Feng was stunned. Who? What did you say? Ha 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 ha, I'm dying of laughter. Why is your race so unlucky? Look, I told you to drag out the return gift and not give it. You've suffered retribution, right? Hurry up and hand over the resources. President Holy Kareen? Chapter 1380, 1380 The Cat is Back, 1. 1380 The Cat is Back, 1. In the Central World, World King City, the headquarters of the Myriad Races Committee. As another battle above its level succeeded, this place received the news immediately. Minister, a new challenger has succeeded above its level. In a luxurious office, a strange life form with a human body but a planet on its head looked at the person. Tell me about it, the planet head said. Then, it turned to look at the document on the table again. The secretary said, the challenger is from the floating realm. He logged into the Myriad race battlefield in the Blue Wave realm. For the third time, he participated in the Myriad race ranking battle and just completed the ranking. It calls itself the King of the Iron-Eating Beast race, 11. In the first battle, it defeated the Quasi-Divine of the Blue Wave Green Dragon race, ranked 92-12. The second time, it defeated the Quasi-Divine of the Star Refining race, ranked 202. This time, it defeated someone above its level. It's the Junior God of the Ice Kareen race, ranked 1001-024. Most importantly, 11 is only 4 years old. The Minister of the New Star Race Resources Management Department, D.I. Yin, didn't react when he heard the pile of information in front. In this position, he had received too much information about successful battles above his level. There were countless from large races and new top-notch divine races. If he wanted him to take a look, this person who succeeded above its level definitely had to have something even more outstanding. For example, defeating a strong race in the top 10,000 above its level and not a weak race at the bottom. Or age. 4 years old? D.I. Yin said. Do you have any information on the divine power value of that junior god? About 40. D.I. Yin fell into deep thought. Interesting, but we still need to observe more and activate the new star planner on it. Encourage it and more iron-eating beasts to continue participating in the ranking battle of all races and even fight above its level. We'll arrange its opponent next. Blue Wave World. 11 and Buggy from the Blue Wave branch of the Myriad Races Committee received a warm welcome. The Blue Wave branch bore the consumption of 11's battle and treated it to a big meal. Contestant 11, there's news from the headquarters. Director Sen excitedly found 11 and Buggy, who were still eating and drinking. How much? How much? 11 looked up. Congratulations, the iron-eating beast race has successfully leveled up. The initial ranking is out. It's 11,111,111. A total of 6 ones. How auspicious, Director Sen said. However, as soon as it finished speaking, 11 was like a bolt from the blue. The food in its hand fell with a look of disbelief. What? It actually ranked in the 10 million? Why was it so low? Didn't it successfully fight above its level? Buggy, leader is awesome tilde. Was there a mistake? 11 was unconvinced. Contestant 11, this initial ranking is already not low. You have to know that this doesn't represent your personal racial strength, but the average racial strength of the iron-eating beast race. Although your personal racial strength can compete with the same level as the top 100 cosmic races, it can't be helped that the other clansmen don't have a participation record. Under normal circumstances, if you want to have a good ranking in the ranking battle of all races, be it family or race, you have to have at least 5 participating representatives. In the ranking battle of all races, the number of participating races is calculated in the form of hundreds of millions. This ranking is really not low. 11 was stunned and still a little sad. 10 million. 10 million. It had worked very hard to fight a Korean above its level, not even caring about their friendship. Director Sen was caught between laughter and tears. But the problem isn't very big. As long as you advance all the way to the divine level and all the way to the super divine level, even if you're the only one from the iron-eating beast race who can fight, you might be able to enter the top 10,000 or even the top 1,000 in the future. Woo! 11 felt it was time to bring Blue Planet's iron-eating beast over to play ranking together. Buggy was amused. 10 million was so low. Although it didn't participate, it should be considered a member of the Green Dragon race. At the moment, the Green Dragon race's ranking was in the top 100. Just like Susu, it didn't participate in the competition at all. It was far ahead of 11 and stood on the shoulders of its predecessor. The ranking isn't the most important thing. Contestant 11, the headquarters has already confirmed to launch a new star race cultivation plan for the iron-eating beast race. Next, as long as you continue to participate in the battle above your level and win, as long as the other iron-eating beast races also participate in the ranking battle and obtain good results, they will constantly accumulate wealth in the iron-eating beast cultivation fund and can be used to withdraw money. This is your greatest gain after working hard to win this victory. Woo woo woo. 11 sighed and expressed that it wasn't bad. This was also good. In the future, ranking was no longer a pure waste of food. There were still benefits. Director Sen chuckled. As long as 11 was happy. He was also quite happy. Unearthing a new star race wouldn't be lacking in personal results. However, he looked at the messy table in silence. The two of them were too gluttonous, right? Why did he feel that they were even more gluttonous than divine-level beasts? Damn, no wonder they were so strong. Yes, yes. At home, Shiyu listened to 11 and Buggy's report and nodded. Not bad. Unfortunately, battles above its level matched opponents from all over the world. Even if it encountered good skills, it couldn't replicate them. Letting 11 pull customers was too slow. Sigh. Then you can play by yourself next, Shiyu said. In 2 months, we're going to participate in the Four Saints meeting. During this period, I'll take care of Buggy, Kai Tong, and the 3 guys first.